everybody, this is Brian with Gate Cleveland. Hope you're all doing well today. And today I want to give you a 30-day review of the Toyota Corolla, the differences between this and the van. I know a lot of people like me doing dashing in the van, and that's the only reason I watch. But this is kind of a comparison. The first month I've been driving it. How is it for dashing? Is it working? Is it not working? What's going on? So I'm going to go over that today and kind of go over that information. So if this is your first or fifth time and you like watching my channel, you like what I provide, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and ring that bell. And of course, share this channel and get those notifications out as soon as possible. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. So today I wanted to talk about, it's been 30 days since I had this car. And I'll tell you the good, the bad, and the whatever in between. So let's start with the bad. So this car is a good car. There's no doubt about it. There's a couple negatives that I don't like about it. Overall, I love I love the car. I mean, I'm not unhappy whatsoever. There's a couple bad things I want to talk about. I love the front end design of the grille. It's very aggressive, looks sharp. The back end just looks like, I don't know, it just looks like whatever. They just slapped it on off of an IS-250 frame and just said, the front looks aggressive, the back, we're just going to go, it looks like a old 80-year-old person driving a car in the back. The front looks very aggressive, so that was one of my negatives. Other negative, well, this is most cars, is the freaking parking brake. It is electronic. It always beeps. I can't stand it. It's something I hate getting used to. I'd rather have, obviously, the regular just cable one where you just pull it, but you just deal with it. Those are that's the only bad I've noticed so far. Some of the positives, it's a great commuter car. It never breaks down. Obviously, only had it a month. I've driven it. I put in about 30 days. I put over 3,100 miles on it. Driving a lot more because it's a new car and just driving around more. But just noticing that there's a lot of positives about it. It gets great gas mileage. It's got the Apple CarPlay and it's got the big 8-inch screen. I love that because I can put up my CarPlay and it's very easy to type in addresses for orders that I'm getting. It's very seamless. It's very fast. I had the same kind of Apple CarPlay in my van, but that thing was from 2015. It was so slow and choppy that I would try to put an address in. It took forever and it didn't work half the time. This thing works so well and so great that I can have two maps up and it'll actually show me a better route from, let's say, Uber and into the Apple Maps. It'll show me a route that'll actually save me some time. Those are a couple benefits of having multiple screens. Now, also what I like about the fact that it has that is that I have the Apple CarPlay, is that I can use certain applications on there, like, of course, maps, and I can see the map. I love that aspect of it because when I'm driving, sometimes the phone is big enough. I have a 12 Pro Max, but sometimes I like looking at the screen. It's a little bit easier to look at, especially when it's really sunny out. I can look through here, and it kind of helps me out. A couple of things I do notice about the car. People say, oh, it's a boring car. Yes, it is a boring car, and I'm fine with that. If I wanted an exciting sports car that just broke down all the time, yeah, that's what I'd go for. This thing is a good commuter car. It does what it's supposed to do. It's not a race car, although it does have good acceleration. Yeah, it's a CVT transmission, but Toyota's been making CVTs since they started the Prius back in 2000 here in North America. So basically, it's made by Aisin, which is Toyota's own transmission company. No problems. Shouldn't have any problems with it. Oil changes are going to be cheaper on it, obviously, because it's only got 5 quarts of oil on it, not 7 like the ProMaster City. Oil change for my ProMaster, cheapest one was $74 now. You know, a comparable one here, I mean, obviously the first 2 years of the first 4 oil changes, they say every 5,000 miles. So the first 8 oil changes are free. So I'll probably go through those within a year because I put on about 2,500 miles a month, 2,000 to 2,500, but I've been trying to keep it lower. So let's get into the meat and potatoes. The reason I got this car was I liked the way it rode, but it was a gas saver, okay? My van, it says 21 miles per gallon city. 21 in your dreams. It'll get 24 if it's a nice day, if you're driving fast. It'll get about 24. It might get 25. Most of the time, if you put the air conditioning on or if you have the vents on and you're driving stop and go, that thing gets 18. And if it's snowing out like it was the other day, it'll only get like 15 or 16. If I drive 100 miles in this Corolla, I go through a quarter tank. That's it. If I have a long day where I drive 100 miles, if I drive 100 miles in my van, I go through more than a half to almost 3/4 of a tank. That's how much it sucked gas. Now, obviously, ratings are ratings, but I will tell you this rating on this car is very, very, very accurate. Even in the city, when it was snowing the other day and I had the heat on full blast, the air conditioning on before, I'll get anywhere between 29.6 to 31.3 miles per gallon. That's in the city when everything's on. Now, when it's a nice day, I don't have the air conditioning on. If I'm driving on the highway, I can get as much as 45.5 miles per gallon if I'm doing 65 with the cruise control on. Which is pretty substantial. Combined gas mileage right now, I'm getting about 36.5 to 37. Savings, 30 days. I had to go over January because February is a shorter month. 30 days, I spent $291.62 on the Corolla. And I drove almost 400 miles more than I did in January. And I spent almost $150 less. It was insane. $436 for the van in January. That was where the big savings was. It was about $160, $170. So, you know, my loan's $100 more a month, so that kind of covered that. And, of course, my insurance went up a little bit, which isn't that much. But for all the riders and everything, because I do rideshare, I think I pay, $699 to, $720 every 6 months. People are like, oh, my God, that's so expensive. Well, I have every bell and whistle on the insurance. I have, collision, 150, 500. I've got, 100, 300, comprehensive. I've got vehicle replacement, which is a form of gap. If something happens to this, obviously the value is not going to go down because right now I see used Corollas for more than new ones right now. But even so, in 2 years when prices do maybe go down and something happens, the vehicle replacement, of course, helps with that coverage. And that's why I got it. So that price isn't that bad, to be honest with you. I know some people that pay $2,000 every year for having rideshare, and I was looking at commercial insurance. Commercial insurance, if you're one employee and you're an S corp, forget it. It's almost like $600 a month. It's unaffordable. You can't do it because the first 2 months I was doing that, I was like, why the hell am I doing this? Let me call my insurance company and get a rider, see if they do it. Allstate, I don't really like them, but they're the only company that does that in Ohio. There's Geico. They don't do that. I used to have Geico. But Allstate does it with the rider where if I'm covered there, I'm covered there. Okay, great. Because that's the biggest thing. A lot of people are underinsured for rideshare. In fact, a lot of people don't even have insurance for rideshare or a addendum or a ride for hire rider in the policy. And when you don't have that, basically what happens is you're going to have those issues where you have, some gaps. And when you're going through, say if you get in an accident and you're doing a delivery, a lot of places won't cover that. I mean, Doordash only pays the minimum, which is $25,000, which is not enough. Because if you hit a Tesla, the driven dad out there, if you just hit the battery pack, it's like $40,000. The car's totaled. A minimum coverage will not cover that. You have to take that out of your pocket. That's why you have to have huge amounts, because cars are so expensive now that my van, when I got it dented on the side a little bit, they wanted $2,300 to take the dent out and repaint that part. That's how expensive it is. But the insurance is a little bit more, but it's a brand new car. Of course, it's going to be a little bit more, but it wasn't that much more than I was paying for the van. The van was actually, I think, maybe about $60 less every 6 months. That's it. It only went up $60, which is nothing. And also what I like about it is the fact that it's a great job for dashing, because the one thing I like about it is it's easy to park, it's easy to get in and out, the backup camera, but not only that, the visibility is a lot better than the cargo van. I have no issues backing out, getting back in. Overall, I'm very happy with the vehicle. I love the trunk. I love the liners. I got seat covers. I spent a couple $100 on those because, accidents happen, and that's why I got it. I mean, It's expensive, yes, but these seat cushions that I got that are like fake leather or whatever, they got pockets on the bottom. You can put stuff in. It's practical, but what I like about it is they're very rough and they're very durable. So that way it can take a lot of abuse. And that's what I'm doing when you're doing rideshare or any kind of food delivery. You're going to be abusing your vehicle. So yes, I got this car because it's very low maintenance. I'll have it forever as long as I take care of the maintenance. Yes, I'll have to put on brake pads every year. I'll put tires in every year. I get all that. But, and, you know, if you just want a car where you just have to change the oil, change transmission fluid every 60,000 miles, this is a great choice. Or, you know, a Honda Accord or Toyota Camry, or, you know, obviously an Accord or a Honda Fit. You know, those are all good vehicles for dashing, or an old Corolla, or an old, you know, just an old banger around car. Like an old Camry is really good. I see people driving like 04, 05 Camrys with a lot of miles. Those are good cars too. And those cars still get 32, 33 miles on the highway. It's not like they're, you know, any slouches. So that's the 30-day review. Very pleased. Obviously, as far as financial, I was very surprised how much I was saving, because the car payment, my first car payment's on April 25th. I already had the car payment already in my budget. I already had it in my account on the 7th of April. I mean, it usually would take me until the end of the second week or middle of the third week to get the one for my other car payment, which was 2 days later on the 27th, which I was surprised. Which is nice, because now I can focus on what I really want to do and focus on the things that I want to do to improve my future. Well, this is Gay Cleveland. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.